What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna be talking about how, honestly, 80% of your gains come from doing the basics. Most of us wanna have great physiques, whether that's for performance or to attract that special someone, or just because you wanna be an exception and be different than everyone else. Whatever your reason is, you're probably trying a lot of different things right now. You're doing all those crazy workouts you see on social media. You're following the Liver King's diet, or you're getting up at 3 a.m. to hit the gym because you don't wanna disappoint David Goggins. The thing is, you're doing all these things, but you can't seem to get the results that you see these social media fitness influencers getting. You see these guys and these girls walking around completely shredded, trying to give you these tips, and you think you're following these tips and you think that you're doing the right things, but the reality is those actually aren't the things you should be doing. Those things are not the things that are gonna be moving the needle the furthest. Today we're gonna talk about why the basic things are actually the best things and how 80% of your gains will come from just getting really good at the basics. Principle number one, and probably the most important one, which is why I'm starting with this one, is you gotta try hard. And honestly, a lot of people, when they're just starting out in the gym or they're just starting to pursue that physique or that level of fitness, they're not trying hard enough. You don't actually know what failure looks like because you've never hit failure. You don't know what having reps in reserve means because honestly, you don't know what it means to have reps in reserve. And that's totally okay. And those are things we can get to when we need to get to them. But more than anything, you just need to exert your best effort when you're at the gym. And what does that look like? Well, it looks like, one, not being the guy or girl who's on their phone in between every single set or answering phone calls. Good Lord, if I see you in the gym talking to someone on the phone while you're bench pressing, I'm going to be so annoyed with you. Don't be that person. Don't let your phone be a distraction that is causing you to actually not exert your full effort while you're lifting. Another thing I see is that you're in there, you're with your workout buddies, you run into another group of friends, and you just start chopping it up and it stops that workout completely. So suddenly you're on a roll, you're halfway through your workout, and then you get distracted by your friends, and that just blows the next 20 minutes. And now all of a sudden you're like, well, shoot, I only got 10 minutes before I have to get to my next thing. So I'm just gonna hurry it up and try to get done with the rest of my workout and then get out of here. Well, that is not gonna be your best effort. And so it's not gonna move the needle very far. So yeah, have a gym community, have friends, but also if you have a good gym community, they're gonna respect your time in the gym and you're not gonna distract each other while you're working out there. Lastly, go in with a sense of purpose and understand that when you have a plan, it's going to give you the ability to execute that plan, which means that you're going to have less things to think about so that you can just try hard. I'm such a huge fan of finding a program and sticking to that program throughout a training block in order to see the best results. And then lastly, understanding reps in reserve, finding failure. It's okay to fail. It's okay to push yourself to the point where you don't think you can do one more tricep push down. Do tricep push downs till your nose bleeds. You're not gonna get hurt. Find that inner drive that goes past just the mental and the physical pain and allows you to find true failure while of course being safe, but don't be the person who always quits right before they're actually making gains. Principle two, progressive overload. Here I am once again talking about progressive overload, and that's because it is so important. Honestly, if I find myself talking about progressive overload at every single video that I ever put out moving forward, I'm totally okay with that because it honestly is the thing that sets people apart. When you show up at the gym and you make things more difficult over time, you're gonna progress. You just are. Versus showing up at the gym, doing the same thing every day or doing completely random things every day and never actually getting a program straight and sticking to that program, you're not gonna go anywhere, you're gonna spin your wheels. And so understand that you need to increase weights if you're trying to get stronger. If you're starting out at benching at 135, you better be benching more than 135 in the next 4 weeks. If you are not, you are not progressing. Don't keep doing 3x10 at 135 and think that you're getting somewhere. You're not. Also, you can increase volume if you want to. You don't have to increase weight. Maybe you start out with doing 2 sets of 10 at 135. A couple weeks later, you're at 3 sets of 10, 4 sets of 10, 5 sets of 10, so on and so forth. Adding volume is a great way to increase overload in order for you to keep moving forward with your game. There's a couple different ways that you can track progressive overload. One, you can be the old school guy with a notebook and pen like Wes. Not a fan at that. Honestly, when I see the guy This is my own judgment coming out right now, but I just laugh a little inside. I actually have an app that I put all my clients through, and on my app, it allows them to track their weights, allows them to track their sets, it allows them to track their reps, and through that, they get a really good picture of if they're progressing or not, and then I get to see if they're progressing or not. So that's why it's so important, I think, to have a program, have a system, and hey, if your system is the notebook and the pen and you're just writing down your sets, reps, and weights, that is fine. I'd much rather have you track it than not track it at all. Principle number 3, daily movement, non-exercise activity thermogenics. Get it? I've talked about this before, but this is the principle of you just living your daily life is going to burn more calories than any exercise that you could do throughout the day. And so when you can, take the steps over the elevator, walk to the coffee shop, don't drive to the coffee shop, set a timer on your phone every hour to get up and walk around for 10 minutes if you're at the office. Different things like that are great tools to help you continue moving throughout the day, not get stuck in one spot without moving. Also, go for a run. Personally, I am not a huge fan of cardio. It is not my favorite thing in the world, but if you love running, go for a run. Get out there, put on a couple miles every couple days. Personally, I love sports. I love playing soccer, I love playing basketball, I love playing hockey. Those things are my cardio activities, and I try to incorporate that into my daily life. But again, if you're someone who loves running, or if you love, I don't know, cross-country skiing, like whatever that is, just go after that sport, go after that hobby, and just make it a part of your daily life. Lastly, if you want to have some really intentional movement, I love HIIT, high intensity interval training, or LIT, low intensity interval training. Both those things are great tools to add into your workout program to keep yourself moving and burning calories throughout the day. Principle number 4, diet. Again, this is something that I talk about a lot, but it really is the thing that's going to set you apart from everyone else. A lot of people show up at the gym. A lot of people actually have programs at the gym, but not everyone is willing to be an exception when it comes to their diet. We need to be eating real foods. We need to be eating plants, proteins, fruits, fats, fibers, real food. Don't get caught up in the crazy supplement world. I see so many people Googling things on how do I raise my test levels? How do I lower my cortisol levels? How do I optimize this? How do I optimize that? And they're like looking for all of these supplements, and they come home and they literally have a table full of pills and powders and mixes and cocktails that they think is going to change their life and optimize their health. When the reality is, are you eating real foods? Are you getting 1 gram of protein per pound of body fat? Are you eating some sort of fruit or vegetable with one meal? If you're not doing those things, you have no business sitting down with a table of supplements and then thinking that that's gonna change your life. I know so many Instagram influencers, TikTok influencers love to tout and promote their supplements, and some of them can be incredibly beneficial, but you need to get the basics right first. You need to be able to eat real foods for most of your meals before we start talking about supplementation. Principle number 5 is lifestyle. This is the idea of making basic changes to your current lifestyle in order to see most of your gains happen. Starting with the exercise, the workout. Just work out 2 to 4 times a week. You don't need to suddenly go crazy and spend 8 hours a day at the gym. Just find that hour 2 to 4 times a week, and that's gonna be great. Next, are you sleeping 7 to 8 hours every single night? If you're not, you need to prioritize this. I would argue that this is actually more important than exercising 2 to 4 times a week. If you are not getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep, you are greatly impacting your health in a very negative way. There are so many studies that talk about how bad lack of sleep is for you. They actually did a study at a university where they sleep deprived people over a month. Every single one of them started showing signs of schizophrenia, signs of high anxiety, signs of high depression. And then as soon as they allowed these individuals to start getting the proper amount of rest and sleep, almost all of them lost those symptoms within a week. That's to show you how important sleep is. And I feel like that's just one of those buttons and one of those levers that not enough of us are hitting or prioritizing. Some other things you can really easily implement in your lifestyle is just drinking more water. Be that person who carries around a water bottle. I do it, you should do it too. Having water, you'll drink the water. If you don't have the water, you won't drink the water. It's that simple. Carry around a water bottle, get your water in. Also, limit alcohol intake. If you can, try to limit alcohol to just the weekends. And when you do just drink on the weekends, it can't be like the crazy binge party. but actually enjoy your cocktails. Order something that's more expensive so that you can enjoy it. Lastly, making time in your calendar to spend time with quality people is a huge benefit when it comes to your health and also your physical fitness. If you surround yourself with positive people, you're gonna move towards being more of a positive person. So I encourage you to not just be a shut-in. Don't be the person who is waking up at 3 a.m. to work out and has no energy to do anything else with their life, but find that balance, find that lifestyle that allows you to go to the gym, that allows you to get proper sleep, and also allows you to hang out with people who are positively impacting your life and pushing you towards the goals that you set for yourself. I would truly argue that 80% of your results, if not more, will come if you start following these 5 basic principles. Once you master these things, then we can start talking about implementing supplementation in different protocols. And we can look into some of the more fun scientific stuff that exists within the health and fitness world. But before we even look at that, before we jump into, should I take ECAAs, should I take BCAAs, we need to first optimize the basics. If you can nail the basics, you're gonna nail your physique and you're gonna look great. All right, that is all I have for you today. I fully believe the basics are the best things. I work on the basics every single day and I don't get tired of the basics because the basics are what move the needles. If you haven't yet, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, drop something in the comments. I'd love to have a conversation with you. You guys are incredible. Until next time, peace.